attention. Friends have all the best intentions in mind. And since I'm so indecisive, I'll probably just rot in my room alone, with no help but myself, lost in my own vices. Or should I say devices that I just can't seem to escape? 4 years past now, and I feel like I'm starting to calm myself down. But I know I shouldn't bank on that. I always collapse and freak myself out. Yeah, I freak myself out. I see a silhouette of someone paying respect to a long line of controversial conversations that I don't regret that past. It led me to a present where I'm better than I was when I was not me. And I'm sorry your time was just a practice course to get my shit together. To get my shit together. 4 years from now, and I'm gonna be out of this broke down. No, I shouldn't bank on that. I always fall back, I always realize it. I'm crawling back in, I'm crawling back, digging through drawers and vomit on floors, trying to forget your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 174 Tornado Tag Podcast, In Your House Mind Games, the final episode.
The skull come up and go.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Deadly Game?
No, there was the skull for this.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
The,
Yeah, I
man, with
watched
the
it like a
mankind
week-
face.
I watched it like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, so as the title says, this will be the last, well, technically the last Tornado Tag Podcast episode. We don't know if we're going to add it to this one yet or make a new stream, but we want to cover this weekend's events going on in the local scene when it comes to Outbreak Wrestling. So we're going to cover that either during this stream or we're going to stop and make another one. But anyway, before we get into any topics, I want to get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. And housekeeping is essentially going to be, where can you still follow us if you are a loyal listener and you want to keep supporting us and doing everything that we do? So we're going to cover that. But seriously, for the 4 years we've been doing this, it's been absolutely fucking awesome. We love all the support you guys have been giving us, but it's tough. You know, the listeners and the audio went down a little bit. We went from like ranked 15 times in a row to I think the last episode got like 6 plays, and the one before that got like 7.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to manage the social medias and get everything done. And get everybody together to do stuff. Like, there's a lot of opportunities we could have gotten but didn't, because just trying to get 5 people on the same page to do it is hard, because we all have lives and this isn't paying the bills, so we have to put our personal lives first. But that being said, if you want to continue to follow us, I will be personally still making wrestling content over on my personal channel. So if you follow me on all social media, Anthony Blackwell Jr., the channel has already hit 117 subscribers. My goal was
On YouTube, yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah. Everything will be exclusive to YouTube. I'm not doing multiple places.
That's good. One place.
Yeah.
People remember. Hey, what's it on? YouTube. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
tubes.
It's on the tube. But I will be doing wrestling content. I'll still be doing the vlog. I'll still be doing where you might see these gentlemen sitting at the table, and we're still doing things like mind game reviews. I know me and Brian are talking about doing independent shows where we're going to review independent shows on IWTV or YouTube and watch
Or that we were at.
or one we
Yeah.
were at and review. So you're still going to see people that are on this channel and that were on this network still making content with me, which is super exciting. But it's
See,
just
next week there's going to be a new show with the Midnight Rider, the Yellow Dog, and Stagger Lee.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Mr. America.
Mr. America.
if anyone still wants to support the merchandises are still up there. If you want to snag your last tornado tag t-shirt or
Yeah.
whatever that is, it's all going to be there. I'm not getting rid of it. It still helps us for the new project. So if you want to do that, you can. So pretty much all I got. And Patreon, like I said, I have a Patreon for the new page and everything. So my link is the first one down there for the Anthony Blackwell Jr. page. If you want to go check it out, that'd be great. Andy, where can people find you?
I will not
Support
be
you.
doing a podcast, but I'll still be wrestling. So just my Facebook. Type in my name, Andy Header.
Yeah.
And then I'd say with Instagram, I think it's at Andy Header. Then my Twitter is Get Some Header. It's
that.
a pun. And that's where I just share the upcoming match graphics and the flyers and stuff like that.
Yeah. And real quick, the new channel will have wrestling content, but it won't be a podcast.
It's not a dedicated wrestling every week show.
Yes,
Right.
It'll be, we make videos here and there, but that's exactly what they are. We're still doing what we're doing now with the live stream, where you'll see people sitting, maybe not at the table, maybe it'll be remote, because this might turn back into a kitchen again. But
Perish the thought.
Yeah.
so this will turn into just like a live stream where like we come live and we interact with the chat more and do all that fun stuff. But we're still gonna make content, but it won't be something you would find on Spotify and
Yeah.
Apple and stuff. That's where the new ABJ podcast will fill in. Which that new T-shirt is out and people are buying it, which is fucking
go.
hilarious
Yeah.
to me. At the Hart ABJ podcast.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, so all that fun stuff. If you want to book any of us, obviously for podcast appearances and talks, we're all still available. Hit us up and we'll come on your shows and have fun and put over our stuff. Yeah, I thought we were.
Or you can book you guys for commentary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
me for wrestling if you're a promoter.
Yeah, if you want to book Andy for wrestling and us for commentary, we're always available. Kelly's not here, but you can go check out her Kelly Snaps and Crystal Mountain Healing,
Yeah.
as well as her brand new one, Kelly Snaps Wrestling or
Cat-
Sports.
I think it's CAT, like KAT.
Yeah, KATS.
KT Snaps.
Is it Russ?
I know she said something, but I had trouble clicking on the link.
It's on Facebook.
You shared it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. You can check it out there. Austin is still training and working at the Sanctuary. They have a show this coming Friday. I'm not sure if he's on it.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. What's
That-
Friday? There's something Friday that I'm supposed to be doing.
Delirious
Friday?
seminar. That's the only
There's
thing I
a
know.
seminar.
Yeah.
for
Is the
Outbreak.
Sanctuary running Friday?
I don't think
I
so.
think they're doing Sunday.
Just
for,
Sunday's
like,
the Lucha
thing.
show. I don't.
cool.
Maybe they're doing something Friday. If they do, I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
might be doing like a first Friday. Or no, it's not the first Friday.
Let me see.
I could have sworn I had something going on Friday. If I don't, that's
Is there
great.
something in Jersey?
No. If I don't, that's fucking fantastic. No, I
They
don't
might
think
be
there's
doing like a free show because I think there's some kind of thing going on. It's like Hispanic Heritage Weekend or something like that. And Hazleton has a big Dominican population. So
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Also, you can find me on the Tantalizing Tony show. He goes live almost every day and we talk wrestling. So if you want to hear more wrestling takes, I'll be on there. And Brian, round us off here.
Murder My Dude still going strong. New episodes coming out in about 4.5 hours. We talked about what's her name? Adrienne Shelley. She was a filmmaker who was murdered right before her movie that made it big broke out. And that's going to be our episode. And yeah, every other Friday. So every other Friday, you can still listen to Murder My Dude. Look up Murder My Dude. ProjectHumanoid.com is the website. At Murder My Dude. At Podcast My Dude on Facebook.
That's
No
it?
more True Social.
No more
No,
True
no more
Social,
True Social.
unfortunately.
I heard someone mention that at a show. I was like, are they being serious right now? So the next Sanctuary First Friday is October 7th.
Okay, thank you.
And then it's not slang because this is what the show is called. Extreme Midget Fighting is on the 8th. And then October 9th is Extreme Women's Fighting. And they're both the Extreme Fight Night. It's a triple header.
18 plus to get in.
Yes, for the Extreme Midget and Women's Fighting.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
I would assume I won't be on either of those shows.
Is it the micro wrestlers?
Yes, that
Yeah.
that would be the Saturday show because the actual name of the thing is Extreme Midget.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to support that because we're booked at PPW
Yep.
that night. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the 8th, but the 9th will be the Extreme Women's Fighting. Looking at it, I just clicked on it and it went away. So never mind.
Yeah.
And then the Lucha Libre Acrobacias Espectacular is going to be on Sunday.
Mhm.
This Sunday at the Sanctuary.
And this Saturday, like I said, get your tickets. Front row is sold out. Outbreak Wrestling will probably cover that towards the end of the show.
The legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse.
Legendary Hamburg
Yes.
Fieldhouse. Well, let's get into our main topic. Is there anything else we want to put over or talk about?
Well, another show is ending its run this week. Apparently, NXT 2.0
Yeah.
is done. It's just going to be regular NXT again.
Back to NXT Rewind.
White and gold now.
They need to have something where Triple H is like sleeping in a bed and he gets up and goes, oh.
I don't want to do that. It's a
That's
bad
it.
dream. Yeah, he
Yeah.
gets out of the shower and it's a bad dream.
Yeah, then he picks up and puts down a folder and has a new XT logo. That's it. Don't have to say a word.
Yeah.
And like Finn Balor, somebody's a champion again.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa's the champion. I don't know, 'cause he's
Adam
won
Cole's
the
back.
2.0.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably a lot of people will be tuning in NXT next week.
Cool.
Is NXT on Hulu?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. I think their deal with Hulu is ending.
Oh boy.
If you have Hulu Live TV, I think you can get USA.
Okay, that's what I
Network.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody in the chat, you want to say some of your favorite moments from the show or things that you were into while we did this, that'd be cool. We could do a little reflecting at some point.
Mr. Steven Chambers.
Steven Chambers
Great
says
wrestling name.
that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is wrestling in November.
Yeah.
Really?
And then December 17th, Battleground Wrestling in the 2300 Arena, Matt Cardona versus Bully Ray with Devon in his corner. Yeah, so that's been something they've been kind of putting out on social media where Bully's saying he's a joke and Matt's like,
okay. So
people
set
would
the
book
match.
you, but nobody wants to pay your rate because you're garbage and stuff. Yeah.
A battle of ECW originals.
Yep.
Yeah, the ECW original battle.
The WWE ECW original.
I don't know. December 17th. If I'm not doing anything that day, that might be worth.
I'm
checking
sure
out.
it's coupled with an Icon show too.
That's very true. I might be working
I would-
Icons
I
that
would
day.
be-
Well,
yeah.
that would be at the same building.
Yeah, I
the
might be
Icon-
working it. If PPW
Yeah.
does what they do last time, and they
Yeah.
want me to help run a table. I had a blast doing it. I like doing cons where I work with talent. That's a good time.
Yeah, cons are fun, man.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. In Your House Mind Games was the 10th In Your House professional wrestling pay-per-view produced by World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. The event took place on September 22nd, 1996 in the Core State Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I believe.
States.
I believe the first wrestling show. This was right around the time that building opened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
believe
it
this
was the first.
wrestling show at that building.
And what's the place called now? Just to get people.
The Wells Fargo Center.
Wells Fargo.
Wells
yeah.
Fargo.
The pay-per-view portion of the show featured 6 matches. There was also a match on Free For All pre-show that was 3 dark matches. With the launch of the WWE Network in 2014, this show became available on demand and did not include all the Free For All matches.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
which
WWE. What? Not even 24/7 because that wasn't around yet, right?
WWE 24/7 was like their on-demand thing.
Yeah, that was like the extra
Classics
channel.
on demand.
Yeah.
They rebranded it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would put like different. They would put like maybe 20, 30 hours of stuff up every month.
Mhm.
It was fun. You get like old primetime wrestling on there, and
Uh,
then the network's like, here's everything all at once.
Yeah. Oh my
The-
God.
The attendance, 13,000.
And one of them is sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Andy Henner was
I
there.
was
Yeah.
one of the
I don't know
50,000.
why I didn't make this show. I think I was supposed to go, and then like my uncle was going to take me, but something happened where my uncle couldn't make it, and
Yeah, as a young
something
person,
fell
you can't
through. I
really-
was because I was a King of the Ring the year before, which was one of the worst pay-per-views ever.
Ugh.
And Savio Vega wrestled 4 times, and they felt bad. So on this show, if you were there for the free-for-all, you only had to see Savio Vega wrestle twice.
Yeah. In pay-per-view chronology, this came after the SummerSlam 1996, and then after this one was In Your House Buried Alive 11. And then also in Your House order, it was the International Incident and then Buried Alive.
Yeah, International Incident where they blew the finish because the main event, it was supposed to be Ahmed Johnson, Shawn Michaels, and the Ultimate Warrior against Owen the Bulldog and Vader, but that was when the Warrior went basically no-showed a bunch of shows, and then they like said he would have to post a bond, and he quit the company.
Yeah.
So they brought Sid back. So it was Shawn Michaels, Sid, and Ahmed Johnson. But Jim Cornette said, if my team loses, I will refund everybody's pay-per-view money. Guess who won?
Yeah.
Cam Cornette won.
The main event was this of the show is Shawn Michaels defending the World Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against Mankind. Also in the show, the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Smoking Guns, Billy Gunn and Bart Gunn, defended the tag teams against Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. On the undercard, former Olympic athlete Mark Henry made his professional wrestling debut.
He was like fresh off the Olympics. He was signed. WWE kind of sponsored his Olympic run. He was signed during this was literally a month after the Olympics.
Yeah. Wrestled Jerry the King Lawler. Little background to this. This is all from Wikipedia as well. In Your House was a series of monthly pay-per-view shows produced by the World Wrestling Federation in May 1995. They aired when the promotion was not holding one of its 5 major pay-per-views, which was WrestleMania, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble, and were sold at a lot lower cost.
I believe they were $14.95.
They were
half
two.
price.
They were 2 hours, and instead of being like $24.95, they were $14.95.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Your House 10 Mind Games took place, we already said, in September 2nd in Philadelphia. The name of the show is based on the rivalry between Shawn Michaels and Mankind.
Yeah, because Mankind and Goldust would also play Mind Games.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but it was mainly the Mankind thing. And this was toward the beginning of the themed paper In Your Houses. The first few In Your Houses, they're just called In Your House.
Yeah.
And then
The
around
house is there.
and then like the beginning of this year, I think the first one they did was right after WrestleMania 11 or WrestleMania 12. It was Shawn Michaels and Diesel was Michael's first big title defense. And it was Good Friends, Better Enemies. And then they did Beware of Dog. And that was one where it cut out because there's a thunderstorm.
Yeah. And they gave it away for free then.
International incident. They had the rumor at this time was always, because not long after this show, Shawn Michaels loses the title to Sid at Survivor Series. The rumor was originally he was supposed to lose it to Vader. And the thing everybody points to is that the pay-per-view after that, the In Your House after that in December, where Sid and Bret Hart for the title was the main event, was called In Your House, It's Time.
Yeah.
Which was not a Sid praise.
Yeah,
It was a Vader
Vader's.
praise.
Here's some of your other on-screen personnel that I'd like to shout out here. Commentating was going to be Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Mr. Perfect. Your interviewers, and one of them you will be able to meet
Yeah.
at Hamburg
A young,
this
dapper
weekend.
Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly and is it Doc?
Doc.
Doc Hendricks.
Doc Hendricks.
Don't know who that is.
Ring announcer Howard Finkel. Referees Tim White, Mike Chioda, Jack Donnan, Earl Hebner,
Jack
and
Donnan.
Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, for some reason, Harvey Whippleman was a referee. I don't get
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc Hendricks, of course, is Michael PSAs.
Yes.
Yeah, just to give a context of the time that this is happening, it's a weird time in wrestling history because WWF's kind of getting their ass kicked.
Yeah.
They are the clear number 2.
Mhm.
WCW is on fire.
Yeah.
WCW is the hottest wrestling company in the world, and it is not close.
NWO just got going.
Yeah, this is, at this point, we are about, I would say, like 4 months into Nitro streak where they beat Raw in the ratings every week for 82 weeks. They are kicking ass. That started in that May when Scott Hall shows up on Nitro and says, "You want a war? You're going to get one." And they made it look like WWF was invading, and obviously WWF sued, so you couldn't do that. But that actually is a big thing that's going on in wrestling right at this time, because Jim Ross came out right before this show and said, I've reached a deal and Razor and Diesel will be in the World Wrestling Federation again. Razor, Ramon, and Diesel will be.
They show up at this pay-per-view.
They do.
Yeah.
And they show up big time the next night on Raw, which I think was in Hershey. And so also at this time, right before this was SummerSlam, one of the big angles of that SummerSlam was Paul Bearer turning on The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
They do the Boiler Room Brawl where Undertaker and Mankind are wrestling in a boiler room, and they have to fight out to the ring, and the winner is whoever grabs the urn from Paul Bearer. That's how you win the match. And Undertaker goes to one knee and holds his hand out to get the urn, and Paul Bearer just hits him on the head with it.
Yeah, that urn that did some damage to people. I remember like when people get hit with it, like they sold that like they got hit with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it was like a.
The only more
sledgehammer.
devastating thing to get hit with in wrestling is a title belt. That is the worst thing you can get hit with in wrestling.
Yeah.
And then right before this is when Sting turned his back on WCW because you had the fake Sting show up, and everybody thought it was the real Sting, and they got mad at him for turning on WCW. And it was really cool booking because it was a War Games. It was going to be the NWO was, I think, Hogan, Nash, Hall, and the Giant.
Is this Crow Sting?
He becomes Crow Sting after this.
Yeah.
Because he turns his back on
He's
WCW.
dark-haired Sting, but he still has surfer face paint.
Yeah.
And is it Sting but not Sting?
Well, the fake Sting was a fake Sting. Yeah, it was NWO Sting, Jeff Farmer.
Yeah, but the regular Sting was there first.
Yeah. but he had hair similar to Sting. He was around the same size.
And no one looked at him and said, that's not really Sting.
They did a wide shot, and he comes out and he looks enough like Sting. They're like, hey, whatever. And he like kicks Luger to stuff. I mean, I think Luger is his best friend.
It takes a couple seconds when you're not like, wait, that ain't Sting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's obvious when you look at it close enough, but they did a wide shot. He only showed up one time before the War Games. And then even in the War Games, they do a thing where like the heels always win the coin toss. But I think this might have been one of the first times the babyfaces won it. So because the babyface would have the last guy out. So it's like it's Luger and I think is it the
Macho Man?
No, yeah, Luger, Macho Man, somebody, and Sting, Flair, I think, against the NWO. So everybody's coming out, and then the last guy for the NWO is the fake Sting, and then it's like, okay, well, Sting's in here. So obviously Sting's, because the commentators just treat it like Sting is in the match.
Yeah.
And so obviously Sting's not going to be part of Team WCW, so it's time for the last guy to come out. And then the real Sting comes out. He cleans house, like beats up everybody in NWO, is like, fuck you, and walks out. And then the NWO wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, NWO is just in control here. But yeah, that's how we come into this. And on the free for all, you had Savio Vega beating Leif Cassidy in the free for all. Leif Cassidy is, of course, Al Snow, part of the New Rockers here.
It says here he defeated Marty Jannetty with Leif Cassidy.
My mistake. Yeah. Marty Jannetty, yeah. And Leif Cassidy,
who come out later in the show and take a bump for no reason.
There were two teen heartthrobs in the 70s. There was Leif Garrett and David Cassidy. Put their names together, and it's Leif Cassidy. Yeah, my mistake. Marty Jannetty. And Justin Hawk Bradshaw interrupts the match. So we're going to get another Savio Vega match.
That's crazy. He wrestled back-to-back matches and then had one on the pay-per-view.
I don't know why.
He had a match and they had a match on the pay-per-view. Remember, the year before at King of the Ring in Philadelphia, he wrestled 4 times.
Well, he wrestled the first one, it says 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Mm-hmm. Then he goes another 7 minutes and 7 seconds. And then later on in the pay-per-view, he wrestles. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So that dark match leads into the first match of the pay-per-view.
There's an attack in the free-for-all, and they say, we'll have a match on the pay-per-view.
Nothing against the guy, but why was he even signed?
Well, he was around for a while, because before that he was Quang.
Yeah, but
Andy Hedder is the Leif Cassidy of Outbreak Wrestling. Hart, Mind of Mayhem.
Okay.
I think you might be controlled by a manager.
M's fighting words. So
I find a head in a garbage can and I really get over.
I love the opening package because they're talking about Shawn Michaels like a champion whose body is virile. I'm like, Vince wrote this.
Yep.
Vince wrote this. There were always those rumors that Vince and Shawn were a little bit closer than most.
This is for me the height of my Shawn Michaels fandom. Okay. Because he's the baby face, but he's still wrestling like a pissed off tweener heel.
He's wrestling a lot like a babyface.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he had attitude to him. Like, that's why I like.
You know who's doing that? Steve Austin at this point.
Yeah, Steve Austin is the best thing in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
At this stage. So then we do have the Caribbean strap match. Justin Hawk Bradshaw with Uncle Zebekiah.
Yeah. Who would go away for 20 years to come back to manage Claudio and Jake Hager.
Yeah. Against Savio Vega, who is...
Yeah, I don't know why would you sign Savio? Nothing against the guy, but like...
Latin sensation.
I look at him and go, okay, let's watch his match.
I had his action figure.
Oh boy, I never had a Savio action figure.
I had the action figure.
A few months after this, these guys would wind up getting repackaged because Bradshaw would dye his hair jet black and be part of the new Blackjacks with Barry Windham. And then
switch to APA.
Short-lived.
Savio turned heel and joined the Nation of Domination.
One of my favorite staples of all time.
Which led to the breakup of the Nation of Domination not that long after that. Because we have the gang wars where you had Crush and his guys, the DOA, the white biker guys.
Loved it.
And then you had the Nation stuck around, but it was all like black guys with Owen Hart for a little bit.
Yeah,
love it.
Savio.
And then Los Pericuas.
My favorite time.
They were like the jobbest of job fucking stables. Hey, Savio, we're going to get you 3 guys that are worse than you are. Miguel Perez Jr., I don't know.
Jesus Castillo.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And Jose Estrada.
I love the Nation of Domination.
I like the Nation. It was up and down, but
okay with like PG-13.
Yeah, when they're first in it.
Oh, I love it. That's why I was hoping the Hurt business would have turned into that.
Yeah,
I think the Hurt business was better.
Yeah, the Hurt business got cut off way before it was done.
And in this match here is where we get the an incident where there's some
local independent
Yes.
wrestlers.
local independent wrestlers are sitting front row,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
one of them spits a beer all over Savio Vega and
Yeah.
then smashes the beer on his head and starts bleeding everywhere.
Paul Heyman, the Sandman, and Tommy Dreamer out there.
All in ECW shirts.
And the fight goes outside and just happens to go by the ECW guys, and Savio Vega gets a face full of beer. And people at the time were like, is this real? Is this not? Obviously, if you look back, if Savio Vega wasn't smart enough that he would have taken a swing at the Sandman.
Yeah.
Bradshaw would have taken a swing at the Sandman.
Probably the
Security
two
would've
guys who
got
are
right
working
there.
that match who would have 100%
Yeah.
started fighting.
Yeah, two guys that were in the brawl for all a few years later
Yeah.
in this match.
And you look and it's like, okay, there's two of them, two of us, well, three of them.
Well,
but
Paul
one's
doesn't count.
Paul Heyman.
Paul doesn't
Yeah.
count.
So-
Paul can fight Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah.
That's a fair fight.
So yeah, we're taking a swing at these dudes. Yeah, that would have
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then they don't, and then security doesn't swarm them either. Security gets them out, but they get them out in time.
Yeah.
And that kind of just kills any heat this match has. Everybody's watching the ECW guys leave instead of watching the match. You have Bradshaw's choking Savio with the strap, and there's just ECW chants all over the place. So, yeah, a local wrestling group in Philadelphia is obviously trying to make a name for themselves at the expense of the World Wrestling Federation,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon says.
They will be on Raw in a couple weeks.
It was actually way later.
Is it?
This was September. It was that February.
Oh wow.
Because it was right before Barely Legal.
Oh
was in-
yeah,
which
yeah.
was
To
in
promote
early
the pay-per-view.
97. The only thing that they really followed up on this immediately was they did a thing the next night where Alfonso and Sabu jumped the rail on Raw, and Fonzie holds up a sign that says Sabu fears Taz.
Oh okay.
And then they didn't do anything for months.
Until remember there was the first Jerry Lawler and Robert Dam. Was that before this?
That was after this. That was in 97. This was 96.
Okay.
Savio was brought in because of WWE's connection to Carlos Colon's and WWC.
Yeah, he was TNT
that
in
makes
Puerto
sense,
Rico,
but
yeah.
like,
Well, it was like, oh, he's a big star in Puerto Rico. We
Yeah.
can probably do something with him here. Let's put a mask on him and make him a ninja.
yeah. I think I would have liked that more, but I didn't see anything inside.
Well, because they never really give you any backstory on Quang. It's like, oh, this is Quang.
Yeah, and then he was gone before he came.
All right, our next match here is gonna
Well, Savio wins.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things you have to touch the buckle.
Yeah, because Savio's touching it behind. Bradshaw's getting 3, and Savio gets 3, and then the tug of war, and Savio gets 4.
And Savio just dives for him.
well, he pulls him in for like a clothesline and
Yeah.
he ducks and dives.
And he does hit the clothesline from hell like halfway through the match, but it isn't his finisher yet.
Yeah.
And then we have a kind of a special
Oh.
attraction match.
Holy hell, she gave us a bunch. My neighbor's hyping us all up on Monster Energy drinks.
There's Jose Lothario, Super Sock. Jose
Super Sock.
Lothario,
What a name.
the trainer of Shawn Michaels, who is, for some inexplicable reason, Shawn Michaels' manager at this point. Not that Shawn Michaels needed a manager. And if you
Yeah.
need a manager, it shouldn't be Jose Lothario.
Yeah. In fact, he took stuff away from Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Why is this old guy coming out in a sweater?
Against Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
James E. Cornette. So backstage, Razor Ramon and Diesel are seen jumping Savio Vega
But you
in,
can't see
in the
their
locker
face.
room. You can't see their faces. I wonder why.
Yeah.
And well,
I love
one
the
of their
cat.
faces was horribly scarred, to be fair.
Yeah.
I love the shot where he goes to grab, like he had a pen on his hand.
Yeah.
Just that door's clearly locked.
Yeah.
Can't follow him.
Not more we can do. Back to you, Vince.
And what happened?
Pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I
What-
fucking love it.
What happened after this is the next night Jim Ross brings out Razor Ramon and Diesel, and obviously it's not Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And the whole thing is a Jim Ross heel turn, where he talks about how he had Bell's palsy and Vince McMahon fired him.
Oh, he did. He fired my ass.
Yeah.
He fired my ass.
And so it's Jim Ross going heel, and he's saying, I never said Kevin Nash and Scott Hall will be back, but
I said Razor and Diesel.
Yeah. And this was something that was done a little bit in Mexico. You would have people take over, but these guys were masked when they
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
It didn't really work, and
I'm telling you, he needs to come back. We need to bring back characters.
They should bring back Razor and Diesel.
Yeah. Bring back Razor and Diesel.
Outbreak needs their own version of a wrestler who's no longer around, and then
they
we-
bring back the gimmick.
All right, yeah,
I love it,
you can do that.
but not even close to
Yeah.
what. Yeah, just completely off.
Andy, how would you feel about being Diesel?
Yeah. I'll be Diesel.
Who do we say you're gonna be? Something ridiculous.
I forget.
I forget. We talked about it on the show a couple times.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, this Lothario and Cornette match goes 56 seconds.
Yeah, with us talking about it is far longer than the match itself. Jim Ross is a subtle heel on commentary, even very subtly working in some heel things because he's going to turn heel the next night. And they just basically are also just making fun of Cornette's weight the whole time.
Yeah, imagine Cornette, a guy who's anti-gimmick and character, is playing a gimmick and character right now.
Cornette's
Well,
always been a gimmick.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's not anti-gimmick.
He's
anti-gimmicks
silly.
he doesn't like.
He's he's anti-silly gimmick. He's
No,
anti
He don't like silly gimmicks.
over-the-top comedy.
He's doing over-the-top comedy right now.
But in a way that makes sense. He's a manager who talked a lot of shit and then he got beat up. It made sense to him.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, Jim Ross says Cornette looks like he's wearing a pair of Yokozuna's old tights.
Yeah.
Cornette begs off of punches. It's all just punches. It's 54 seconds of punching.
Yeah.
And then a 3 count, and they play Shawn Michaels music for Jose Lothario. Mr. Perfect says, I think Jose could use some different ring music. He's far from a sexy boy.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't mind commentary here. Vince is terrible.
Vince is too much. He says full names with gimmick names.
Oh, I hate it. Hate it.
Do it all count.
But yeah, the Jose Lothario thing, I don't get it.
I don't. Yeah.
And
Why?
it did really hurt Sean to the point where 2 months from this, Sean and Sid at Madison Square Garden, Sean's getting booed. He got booed out of the building. They popped like crazy
no
when
one
Sid won the title.
No one sees some old dude.
They
Like
pop,
your hero.
They pop later for not for Sid. No, for
Yeah, Sid and
With
Vader.
Sid,
Yeah,
yeah,
Sid was over. Yeah, Sid was very over.
crazy over. The only time I really remember this being like even working a little bit for Sean is when they did the whole. I mean, I'm saying this from the eyes of a fucking 11-year-old. Is when they did the whole thing where Sid like beats the shit out of Jose Lothario and Sean has
He
Yeah.
hit him with the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, like they could just one and done. Yeah, that led up to the match at Royal Rumble in the San Antonio. Right?
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
Sean got the title back in his hometown.
So our next match here is gonna be Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. With
Well, first, before that, we had Mark Merrow and Faruqer on the Superstar line.
okay.
Brian Pillman comes out next. This was a pretty big segment. He's mad at Bret
Candy
Hart because he had teased that Bret Hart would be there and he would be interviewing him. And they did a thing where, because Bret was shooting, I think, like Lonesome Dove or something.
Yeah.
Real quick. So they just wrapped 2 Oreos into a single package.
Yeah, but it's with popping candy.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, why would they wrap just 2 Oreos like that?
That ain't bad.
Someone at the door?
How do you get all kinds of snacks, bananas,
Good thing we're so professional for our last show.
chips, and someone's at the door. It's Super Sock. Why are you talking shit? Now he's
I would be
100.
very surprised. He's dead.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I
the
would
ghost.
think so.
It's the ghost.
Because he looked like he was in his 60s here.
They
at
said he
least.
was 62, I
Yeah.
believe. So Pillman comes out. He's mad at Bret Hart because he had teased that Bret Hart would be interviewed on the show.
Oh, the reason I probably did not remember this is because Bret Hart's promo in this is fucking terrible.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, they play. Yeah. it's
You're a
just-
liar. I said I wasn't gonna be there, and you're a stinking liar. You and my brother Owen. Like he just kept saying it over. I'm just like, no
it
charisma.
was just talking.
The
like
charisma of a
whoa,
stiff
whoa, whoa,
sock.
whoa, 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 a super
Awful.
sock.
So Pillman comes out. He heels on Philadelphia. He brings out Owen Hart. Owen says, or Pillman says, Bret isn't there because he's scared. He's a little scared of Owen, but he's very scared of Steve Austin. Austin's out next. He doesn't have the
glass shatter.
break in yet.
Yeah.
No, he has.
Yeah, he's like almost Steve Austin, but not
Yeah.
quite, because he says that's the bottom line halfway through the promo, and then at the end of the promo.
No, are you saying Vince is the best commentator of all time? I'm just confused. Or are you saying Jim
It's
Ross?
probably Jim Ross.
Jim Ross is the only one of
Ari means you.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Yeah. Or
yeah.
It might
Mr.
be
Perfect.
Brian.
I mean,
Yeah.
Perfect's good commentary.
I'm already the best.
Yeah.
Maybe 100 matches under my belt, but I'm already the best. And this is it's not fully there, but this is a really good Austin promo. It has one of the lines that I always remember. You put an S in front of Hitman, you get exactly what I think of Bret
Yeah.
Hart.
Oh, and what's some?
He's not a chicken. He's the slimy substance that runs out the back of a chicken.
Love it.
Austin is just
You know what this felt like though? Like, oh, this was so long. I'm like, they probably had a match here, but somebody didn't show up, and then somebody else didn't show up, so they say go along with this promo.
So there
wasn't bad.
It was a
but-
question. Who do we think are the best commentators of all
Oh,
time?
I really like Joey Styles, but I mean Jim Ross, and I mean not so much nowadays, but overall.
a little
Brian's clear pick is Morrow. No, honestly, I would
This would've been
say
the last show anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I haven't watched a lot of Memphis, but my God, was Lance Russell good?
Yeah, Lance Russell got Bob Caudle was good for back in the day. A lot of people like Gordon Sully. I hate Gordon Sully's
Gordon
voice.
Sully's a little dry.
Yeah, man, so fine.
Well, he wasn't. He was anything but dry. He was always loaded.
So like
Yeah.
Attitude Era, King and JR were almost like
those are like
they were good. They were more of like the old men in the booth at the Muppet Show to me. Like they were always like
Kind of.
Jim Ross can sell the emotion of a main event like nobody else.
Yeah.
yeah. Shivani's really high up there for
Bonnie's
me.
very good.
Gorilla and Bobby Heenan. That's probably my favorite team. Overall.
Yeah, Gorilla and Bobby are really high for me.
I love Bobby Heenan, but as far as chemistry, Gorilla and Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah.
As far as color commentators, I think Jesse Ventura and Bobby Heenan.
I'll probably get shit for this, but I really like Michael Cole. Even when Michael Cole was being screamed in his ear all day long, I think now shows Michael Cole's real ability that now he can cut loose and be himself.
Yeah, now he's let loose.
Yeah.
A guy that's similar to that when he's not being overproduced like they did in WWE, because I don't think Triple H is screwing in anybody's ears now. A guy I thought was very good and he's very good in Impact now, Tom Hannafin, formerly Tom Phillips. Tom Phillips and Corey Graves in NXT when it was on the network.
I like Corey Graves a lot too.
They were an incredible team.
Yeah.
They had so much chemistry.
I thought Renee did well, even though she was getting hurt.
Yeah, sure.
I think Renee is better as a backstage interview.
I agree. Local wise, Pete.
Yeah.
Pete's top for me. Pete and Paul Bow.
And
my top two.
It's
guys.
weird because the independents for so long there was no commentary. So it's
Yeah.
not like I like know these commentators for years and years.
It's
'cause we never
exciting.
had
It's
any.
exciting. We're getting
Until
treated more
recently.
seriously.
And then as far as, because we kind of brought it up for backstage interviewers,
Mean
I've
Gene.
dabbled in that a little bit
Yeah.
now. Mean Gene is in a
Mean
class
Gene.
by
He's
himself.
number one, and
But
then
Renee
number
is
two
probably
like,
second for me.
yeah.
Renee was excellent at that job.
Oh, Coach was good though. Coach was a punching
Coach was
bag.
all right.
He was a good punching
Kevin
bag.
Kelly was pretty good. Kevin Kelly.
Kevin
was
Kelly.
always the
Yeah.
wrong
Michael
people
Cole
with
did
that.
that before he was a
Yeah.
commentator.
Yeah.
Not Todd Pettengill. Todd Pettengill wasn't so
Mean
great.
Gene's
Yeah.
definitely number one.
Yeah,
Mean Gene is in a class by
Harlem
himself.
Heat, come on in. This is my best. Come
Put
on
that
in.
cigarette out.
His bloopers I watch probably once every other month. On
Fuck it.
YouTube. Yeah.
Nice.
when what's his name gets the look at this fucking turkey.
Yeah.
He grabs this
Oh,
is
the
you.
outtakes.
Yeah, the outtakes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
my
good.
god. When she grabs the turkey by the neck and Mean Gene just runs away.
I always think of when he brings in Greg Valentine's wife. He's like, "What do you do? What do you do?" When he says, "Pass the fucking potato."
if you like this banter, this is what you're going to experience when we
There you go.
are not a podcast.
What do
So,
you say we get cocktails after this? Oh, we're live.
yeah, because we're not going to be under a podcast format. So we're giving you a little taste. I'm going to interact with the chat a little more tonight. So if you have more questions like that, throw them in and we'll have some fun. But let's
back
get
to the show.
Let's get back to our
You had
match.
a little vignette of Mark Henry at Independence Hall, and he did something you should never do. You will get arrested for this if you're not Mark Henry and not part of production. He actually touched the Liberty Bell.
Ah, yeah.
You're not supposed to touch the Liberty Bell. There's like a rope around it. You're not supposed to put your hand over that rope
Really?
because it's fragile. There's a goddamn crack in it.
And then
yeah.
everyone's acid touching it over.
Yeah.
Imagine 1,000 people touch
you
every
can
day.
take your picture in front of it, but you're not supposed to actually touch the Liberty Bell.
What if he touched it and it's just crumbled?
Oh, he is the world's strongest man. So
I think somebody ran at it once, started hitting it with a hammer, and it was fine.
yeah, it's probably
It's
now
a-
if you really
it's a
worked on it.
precaution, yeah.
Could you imagine being that guy who just like
I broke
my
Liberty Bell.
life is so shitty that I went and destroyed the Liberty Bell?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like Philadelphia, but I don't like.
You wouldn't destroy Liberty.
Yeah, I
Liberty Bell's fun.
I like the listen. I say I hate their sports teams, but I don't hate them that much. But the history of Philadelphia is a dope history city, minus the racial stuff. They are pretty notorious for being one of the most racist cities of all time.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the Quakers, if you go back in the day, the Quakers were some of the original abolitionists. But if you look at that historic stuff, there was some stuff like they had a little bit of track record. But
side quest real quick. Pro Wrestling Crate just announced 6 minutes ago their next crate. Every October they do the spooky one, so they do
Okay.
masks and paint, and this is number 5.
Pentagon. And
there you go.
No idea why this one's in here because one of them doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness,
Abaddon.
Abaddon's in it.
Okay, Undertaker's not in because
No.
obviously Kane possibly.
No Kane.
because I guess Undertaker owns the gimmick. Mankind.
Mankind is in it.
Huh.
Okay, maybe because you could put Cactus Jack in there. Sting,
Sting is in it.
Darby Allin.
No Darby.
I'm trying to think. Is LOD
Nope.
Demolition?
Demolition?
No,
Nope.
Demolition is cop. Papa Shango?
No Papa Shango.
Powers of
wow.
Pain.
No Powers of Pain.
Let's see somebody newer. That
Ultimate Warrior?
spooky kind
Nope.
of guy. Kevin Sullivan.
There's one that you'll probably get if you think newer. Masks and Paint.
Malachi Black.
No.
Or should we go more?
Danhausen?
Danhausen.
Yeah,
You'll never get the next two. One of them, I don't even know why he's in there because he's never had. He doesn't wear face paint.
He's not a
or
scary
wear a
person at
mask,
all?
and he doesn't. He's not scary at all.
So it's like they just put the Tonka in there randomly. Like what?
But I don't hate that he's in here. So we have Sting,
Uh-huh.
Danhausen, Abaddon. I'm just gonna tell you because you'll never
Okay.
guess this in a million years. The Insane Clown Posse.
Oh God! If that gets a shirt, I'm burning it, making a video of it.
The Macho Man Randy Savage.
Why is Macho Man in there? I mean, he's a
Warlord.
character. He's probably one of the most dressed like costumes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Warlord. Wardlow.
Wardlow and the Warlord.
I'm
new
sorry, I'm
tag
sorry.
Team.
Warlord. Oh no, Warlord.
Okay.
Sorry,
With the
Wardlow.
half mask.
So it could be
Yes.
Powers of Pain.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley are this month's crate.
I do not want ICP. I hope it's an ICP DVD.
I hope it's a pin.
The shirts are probably Danhausen.
I'll put an ICP pin on my thing just to be funny.
ICP fucking pin.
ICP.
You know what?
baby.
You know what's worse than ICP? ICP fans.
You know, they do have a reputation though, ICP, of being like very good to the wrestlers.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Very good to wrestlers,
I heard
and
they
they're
pay them really well.
they pay very well, and they're very anti-child peas.
Well, good.
Good,
That
yeah.
should
So
be-
there's a lot of things that I can relate to, and I will support the ICP for. The ICP.
The ICP. That's what I call them, the ICP.
Yeah.
I like OCP from RoboCop. That's what I like.
You like PCP?
Yeah, PC.
Yeah.
What would I OPP?
You down with PCP?
Yeah.
You know me. Yeah. So that's this month's crate. Let's get to our matches because we are falling way behind.
There's only like two left.
There's only 2 matches left. It's okay. These are short shows.
Yeah.
Owen and the Bulldog against the Smoking Guns. No Cornette here. Jim Ross just point blank. I think Cornette's a better manager than Sonny, so this puts the Owen and the Bulldog at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Then we go backstage and we get a cameo. Dr. Frank on the
Mhm.
pay-per-view.
Yes, he is.
Young Dr.
Young
Frank.
Dr. Frank with his mustache. Look, just checking out Jim Cornette. It was still reeling.
I had to go back and take a photo of that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
show it to him. Probably
Yeah.
love it. I'll probably tell you all about it.
That is one. So spoiler alert. That is one piece of content that you will be seeing very, very soon on our page.
Mhm.
I already said that you're with me, but if you want to come for the ride too, we're gonna go to Dr. Frank's house.
Oh yeah.
Which is like a museum,
And,
essentially.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna go around. He has gear from everybody.
Yeah, lots
he
of
has,
stuff.
he
You
has
get
like
to
Owen
meet
gear,
Guys for 30 years, 40 years.
and it'll probably be like a 16-parter because
Yeah.
he has stories to tell.
Yeah.
He loves telling them.
That's
Love
awesome.
it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, he has gear hanging up in his doctor's office.
Yeah. Yep.
Dr. Frank, one of a kind.
If I was closer, that'd
One
be my
of a
doctor.
kind.
Dude, he during his Hall of Fame speech
Mhm.
called me out personally by name like 3
Yeah.
times, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I
I love that guy.
just to show a peek behind the curtain, they have the run sheet for PPW and it has the times for every segment. And it's like Dr. Frank Hall's famous speech is like 5 minutes. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
right. Yeah.
okay.
That's a flare.
We got-
only an hour, Rick.
We got Dr. Frank on commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that backbreakers. Yeah,
Yeah, he kept
Oh.
saying to me, he goes, "Hey, everywhere I go, man, if you ever need me to come on commentary for a second, please let me know." And 9 times out of 10 for the shows, he's not near me,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
somewhere else.
and I'm not gonna go walk over and be like, "Dr. Frank, come over to
But-
commentary real
but
quick."
this was an outdoor show and it was a warm day.
And
And we
it
were
was-
under a tent and he's an older guy, so we had to make sure he was comfortable.
Yeah, so he's sitting right next to us, and I mean, that's not like a shaded backbreakers, but this is a one-off for us. Like we're like
Yeah.
they already have a commentary team. We
Yeah.
were just there to fill in that day, and I was just like, "Dude, I'm bringing Dr. Frank," because it was a legit injury on the show.
Yeah.
So when we came back, I was just like, "Dr. Frank, time it out for the entrance," and then as soon it just cut off there. I didn't even like he nailed it, and he just did
He's
like
Dr. Frank. He knows what he's doing.
he did a medical report. He was
That's
just
awesome.
like, "Yeah, she hurt herself, and we had to take her to the doctor. She's gonna get like my doctor." Like he did like a whole analysis, and then he just wrapped it up. And when it was over, he just high fived us. He's like, "Thank you so much." Thank you.
We did a great thing with him with PPW when Mitch got hurt, Tom Mitchell, and him checking on the ankle is really fun.
Yeah, he's awesome. Love Doctor.
That was the night he went in the Hall of Fame. We did a skit with him.
Yeah,
So
he loves that stuff. He wants to be on camera and
That's
on mic.
cool. Yeah, I would use them. Yeah.
So then Clarence Mason comes in. He's getting he's shoving paperwork in Jim Cornette's face, which plays into something later. And everybody's like, and everybody knows like Clarence Mason and Stokely Hathaway, were they like separated at birth?
Yeah.
Sonny is very chummy with Billy Gunn here, and Bart doesn't seem too happy about it. And then we have they used to do this thing with the smoking guns where they would set off fireworks and the giant poster of Sonny would roll down. But now it's been defaced. She has like a mustache and a goatee drawn on her.
Yeah,
And
it was weird because the smoke guns are the faces. Well, Billy's
they're
playing
both
heel.
heels. Both
But
teams
then,
are heels.
yeah, it seems like they're all heels in this match.
The
Like,
smoking
it's
guns were
weird.
heels. Here.
But Bulldog and Owen for drawing on Sonny kind of makes them the faces. So it's like, wait a minute, what?
It's a weird heel match. It's a decent match. It's fine.
Yeah.
And JR and Vince are arguing over Razor and Diesel. They isolate Bart. Owen works over the leg. It's Owen Hart. It's very good.
It's fantastic.
Sidewinder by the guns, but Clarence Mason distracts. Bulldog runs Bart and Billy while Billy is preoccupied with Sonny. He's not even looking. So they roll him up, running power slam for the win. Sonny fires the smoking guns afterward, and Billy tries to get him to reconsider.
Fired.
So Billy would turn heel here not too long after that. And I think this is around the time we get Rockabilly.
Yeah.
Rockabilly, the honky tonk man's protege. Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah. Trying to find something for Honky to do.
In our next match.
Well, first of all, and then we have Kevin Kelly with Paul Bear and Mankind in the boiler room. And then we have Jerry Lawler against Mark Henry. Very quick. Mark Henry is incredibly green here. I think it's his first televised match. I don't know if he even had him. It might be his first match.
Jerry Lawler bumps like a psycho.
Yeah. If you want to put anyone, make them look good, especially if they don't know wrestling, Jerry Lawler can make
He
anyone have
doesn't
a good
even
match.
like, when you take a back bump, like you're supposed to land flat on your shoulders. This dude is taking bumps that like
They take some old school jumping.
he's landed on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like when
He's
he took
doing everything he can to make Mark Henry look like
he
Superman.
took that outside the ring bump where he dives to the outside, he almost breaks his own neck. Like Jerry Lawler took awesome bumps.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler. If you only know Jerry Lawler from WWE, you don't know Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler is one of the all-time greats.
Yeah,
one of the all-time greats. And as far as a territorial guy, he was as big in Memphis as anybody was anywhere. And he's healing on the crowd, but we don't hear it because they do a voiceover or a video package. Just very basic. And then after the match, Mark Henry wins. We did like a backbreaker. Yeah, the over-the-shoulder backbreaker, right? And then the New Rockers and Hunter Hearst Helmsley attack, and Mark Henry fends them off. It's like, well, there's Triple H's contribution to the show. Still in the doghouse for the click curtain call.
fends them off by just throwing Jerry at them.
Yeah, because they had the click curtain call before this when after Michaels beats Diesel, Michaels, Razor Ramon, Diesel, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley all celebrate in the ring, and it's like, well, two of them are heels, two of them are baby faces. You broke
One Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and they couldn't punish Shawn because he was kind of bulletproof. So Hunter's in the doghouse, and he was going to win King of the Ring, and they took it away from him, and they gave it to Steve Austin. It's one of those butterfly effect moments because then he says he beats Jake Roberts in the final. Says you got your Psalms, you got your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass, and the rest is history.
And here we are.
And the rest is history.
All right, our next match.
They did a promo for In Your House Buried Alive. Then we have the final curtain match, which has the weirdest stipulations ever. You must win by pinfall.
Yeah. Okay.
Final curtain match.
Yeah. Kind of how most matches end.
No
Anyway.
DQ, but Goldust still hides his illegal tactics to the referee.
Yeah, and so what, if somebody submits, you're like, nope.
Yep.
You have to sit in that hold forever.
Yep. Sorry. I'm dead.
Quit.
Besides all that weirdness, two great workers.
Yeah.
Two great workers who didn't have the best match.
Yeah. Like I wish the match. I expect a little bit more.
A lot of rest holds. A lot of.
Maybe they didn't quite quick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This was also as far
Love
as
me some Marlena too.
Oh yeah.
As an in-ring wrestler, this wasn't Dustin Rhodes' finest period of his career.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the heights of his substance problems.
And as a character, he's great here. As a
Yeah.
character,
Oh yeah.
incredible. Just a long heat segment. The heat is like super long in this match because Undertaker picks up Marlena by the elbows.
Yeah.
And she blows glitter in his eyes and
then gets on everyone for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it's just it's very plotting. Tombstone ends it.
The handful he throws, man, that went everywhere.
And Goldust, I
love Goldust.
I think they were catching too much heat for the gay overtones because it's not long after this that he says he's not gay and he turns babyface and it's like, oh, he's a family man and here's their daughter and all this stuff and
it's kind of like, you just kind of ruined it.
Well, obviously too, like I will say I will agree with it to an extent because at some point in time, like you have to do something because the fans are just chanting the most homophobic stuff at him.
I mean, it was 96, you know.
But it's not like they stopped doing that. They had Billy and Chuck after this. They had other gimmicks that were similar.
Maybe Dustin was just like, listen, I'm just not comfortable.
No, Dustin wanted to get boob job.
Yeah, Dustin.
Even after that was after this.
Yeah, this was after that.
Oh,
because Dustin turns babyface for like a year. He turns heel again around this time in '97, and he's with Luna Vachon.
That's right.
And he's way more over the top than he was when he was Goldust. When he was like the artist formerly known as Goldust, and he's dressed up in diapers.
Is that where he's like when they would rip his clothes off and he had like lingerie underneath?
That was actually before this. That was WrestleMania 12.
Yeah, it was the backlot brawl. But no, this would come out in the wild outfits, lingerie, but like his face would be painted red and blue, and then he had like the big pointy bra.
He had the cone bra, like
Isn't that when he was going through his divorce and he wrote like "I hate my wife" on his face or something?
Well, what happened was
probably
the year after this, '97, when he was a babyface, they did a match where he lost to Brian Pillman, and Pillman got Marlena for
a
month, and she looked like she was miserable, and she wasn't in the gold.
Up.
Yeah, and they did promos of Pillman and her in bed because like I get to like basically have sex with your wife because
I want a match.
I want a wrestling
that's how
match.
it works.
Yeah, that's how
you also get custody of kids.
Yeah,
as current superstar Dominic Mysterio.
Pro wrestling, baby.
So the whole idea with that was going to be
the
that
90s.
Pillman was going to wrestle Goldust at Bad Blood, and Marlena was going to turn and join him, and it was going to make him snap. But then, unfortunately, Brian Pillman died.
Yeah,
like the night before the show, Brian Pillman died. So they just had Goldust kind of just go nuts because his wife was gone. And So anyway, so they say that McMahon says that the Undertaker has finished off his issues with Goldust because he pinned him, I guess, in a match where he can only win by pin. And Goldust did turn babyface like right after this, but by Survivor Series, he's a babyface. Undertaker would continue the feud with Mankind. He won the Buried Alive match, but then that's when they had Terry Gordy in as the Executioner.
Yeah,
and they attacked him, and then they wound up burying the Undertaker, but then his hand shoots up from the grave. And then that's the end of the purple and black Undertaker. He comes back at Survivor Series with the all black, like almost velvet looking stuff.
Yeah.
And then WrestleMania next year, he winds up.
What's your favorite Taker?
I like the purple look the best.
Yeah, purple's my favorite too.
That was the best look, but that was the worst period for
probably. Yeah,
like King Kong Bundy and Kama and Mabel.
Who does he work at the next show? Executioner or what was his name?
The next two shows, it's Mankind, the Buried Alive match, and they just have a regular match. They have a match of Survivor Series where I think like Paul Bearer's in a shark cage or something.
Yeah.
And then December he works the Executioner, Terry Gordy.
Yeah.
His career's a little floundering until Kane gets introduced. I mean, Mankind's good, but then
but then Royal Rumble he wrestles Vader, and he loses. He loses clean the Vader at the Rumble. Then he's in that Final Four match for the title because somebody lost their smile and gave up the title because he didn't want to lose the Brett at WrestleMania.
No idea what you're talking about.
Who could that be?
No idea what you're talking about.
So then it winds up with
don't like that.
What are you gonna do? Fire me? Fire me! I'm already fired.
I'd say the show's over.
So then they
ICP was in TNA. ICP was actually in every federation.
WWF, WCW, ECW, TNA. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
So and then Undertaker, he wins the title at WrestleMania from Sid because they make Brett and Austin the IWEP match, not for the title. So speaking of bad promos, Shawn Michaels doesn't cut a good one here.
Yeah.
No, he does not.
That's not good. I was watching. I was like, this isn't good.
They tried to save it though on commentary, saying that he's flustered.
Yeah, he's nervous.
Scared. He's nervous. Yeah.
Jokes hadn't kicked in yet. So,
and then Shawn kind of said he was a little bit of an idiot. He's like, he's trying to play mind games, but I don't have that much up here. Oh, so our world champion's an idiot. Okay.
Yeah. Really.
he was taking promo tips from Sid.
Yeah.
Not as half the brain that you do.
Still not as bad as Brett's promo.
Brett's promo was bad. Brett didn't really get good promos until he turned heel. And the Canadian stuff.
Then Brett really turned it on.
Yeah.
All right, it's like you're a stinking hyena.
Yeah, let's get into this main event.
Oh boy, one match show, and this is the match. What a match it is.
Yo, this might go up very, very high for me as one of my favorite matches of all time. It's no secret. I am a huge Shawn fan, but I really, really love Mick Foley. Like ever since I seen him for the first time, like I was attached to that character. I loved his in-ring work. And at the time, I was like, he doesn't look like anybody else. He's kind of like pudgy, but he's super athletic, and he's willing to like.
He's not as pudgy as he would be later here.
Yeah,
he's a bigger guy, but he's in decent.
And he can move around a lot better at this point. Since banged up.
If you only remember Mick Foley from the very end with like Mr. Sacco and his body is like really breaking down, if you were in the 90s, whether it was Cactus Jack, Mankind, dude love matches weren't that good because there's potential to do like hokey stuff. But and up until like
his title
up until his first retirement, Mick Foley was so good.
yeah, so fucking
He
good.
was so good.
His character work was good.
Mhm.
Like to me, when people say like spooky characters 1 and 2, there's no question it's Undertaker and Kane. The only person I can say that maybe can get close to Kane would be Mankind, because when he wrestled as that. He would wrestle like a horror movie character.
Yeah.
Like, he would self-harm himself during the match. Like he would rip his hair out of his head,
scream
like
and everything.
the whole time, like screaming. Like, he was so
He didn't even
good.
do it as Cactus Jack though. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just something he kept.
And the presentation was so good. He would have like that horror movie kind of theme coming out, but then we would win. It would be the soothing piano music.
Yeah,
That-
he would, like cuddle them.
and that figure just came out, that WWE Superstar line.
I ordered
My
it.
one friend
Should be
found
coming.
it in New York, found the whole wave and bought the whole wave. I was like, fuck, I haven't seen it at all. I
If
want
you
it.
really, really want it, check Walmart.com. And you can order it online and send
Yeah.
to your house. But sometimes, like the Razor and Nash,
Yeah.
it's third party, and people are selling it for like $50 a
Oh,
figure.
wow.
So I got
You gotta watch
Sean
them click
and
on
Mick for $20.
Ain't bad.
Yeah.
Like
I want those.
Andy, you were saying that about how when Kane came around, it really did revitalize Undertaker, and that's true. But really, it was Mankind.
Mankind, yeah.
Undertaker was in a bad way.
They would just get these
Yeah.
big goofy guys or just
It was like Monster of the Week.
weirdo looking guys.
People who
Well,
can't work.
Yeah, and Undertaker had to carry him, and sometimes he couldn't.
And then
That's
he,
not his fault. I mean, this guy just sucked that bad.
he gets the win over Diesel at WrestleMania 12 because Diesel's on his way out, and then the next night he I forget who he beats in on Raw, and then Mankind attacks him, and it is off to the races because him and Mankind had it. That was a great feud.
Yeah.
That was probably WWF's best feud of '96. But
So
this match, oh
Yeah,
my
Shawn
God.
Michaels with Jose Lothario, with Mankind and Paul Bear, which we already said earlier. This is huge because Paul Bear is now turned on the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He brings out the urn and a casket,
Mhm.
which is
led by the Druids, the unnamed Druids.
the Druids, and the casket is painted like Mankind, which was a cool
Yeah,
touch.
that was very cool.
Yeah, and then Mankind comes out of the casket. Oh, everything about this was so dope. Sean is wrestling at this point, like I said, with a little bit of edge to him. He's wrestling a little angry.
Yeah, they even say like he's wrestling like we thought Mankind would wrestle because
Yeah.
I think the whole psychology of the match is he has to fight fire. He has to like it's the mind games have made Sean wrestle Mankind's match, but he's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, also too, like some of the documentaries I watched, and one of the ones that they did allude to this match where Sean was really upset that during his title run is when WWE's losing the
Yeah.
wars.
Yeah,
And he took it personally.
and business is down. He's
Even
not
though
drawn
I-
like Brett did.
I wouldn't put the blame on him, but no, it was just WCW was so hot.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter who was the champion.
and he took it personally, and you can see that there's a little bit of that in his attitude in this match because he is just he fucking kills it. They both kill at this match. There's point where I think they're like Sean's legit beating the shit out of him. Like I don't know.
Care.
Yeah,
Didn't care.
it was
They
crazy.
Yeah.
gave it right back.
Yeah,
I would say it didn't matter who was champion until it did, because what turned the war around is up to that point, as not even up to that point, up until now, no one in wrestling has ever been as hot for a little bit of time as Steve Austin was from
Yep.
like 1997 to about 2000.
Yep.
yeah. They played into a market that just worked so well, and he played that character to a T. But yeah, this match is absolutely crazy. They are just absolutely kicking the shit out of each other. Sean starts working a leg and just violently going after the
Does a
leg.
dragon screw. They call it a leg drag with a twist.
yeah.
When he throws him on the casket and then shoots in for like the chop block,
Mhm.
like it looked like he tried to
Yeah.
blow his knee. Like,
That Mankind's like stabbing his leg.
Yeah.
kinda
And they went
feeling
out
back
to
and-
the outside pretty early too, and then Mick rips the
Sean almost
pads up.
killed a cameraman or the one commentator guy. The one commentator
that
guy
guy that was
starts
sitting next to
walking.
Mr. Perfect.
I think. Yeah.
He starts walking towards Mick, and Sean just like almost jumps over him over the table onto
Yeah.
Mick.
I like when he jumped. That was a good. That's one of the spots that was played again in like the highlight reels.
Yeah, the suplex to the steel steps where Mick's hit
Oh yeah,
his feet hit.
that used to be Mick's thing. You do that and like his feet would hit. You'd be like, oh, because it makes that sound.
And
It still sucks.
there's a teaser in this match that sets up to something later where the casket gets opened and
Mhm.
Sean gets put in the casket and it's clearly empty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
And he gets back out of the casket and the match continues.
yeah.
Then we have the big table spot where he goes to the table from the end of the ring.
reverses the back suplex. and
Yeah,
it's
where
like,
Sean
gosh.
almost lands on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be Sean reversing it, the suplex into a splash like down, but Chuck
Yeah.
had put his hand down first.
Yeah. Then
You have to do a table spot in Philly in '96.
the Mick gets he does the suicide hang rope
Yeah.
spot,
Yeah,
and
where
then
that's how he lost his ear.
and then he hits him with the mandible claw
Yeah.
on it, and then Sean just starts stomping his fingers out and destroying the mandible claw.
He was biting his fingers.
Yeah.
He was biting the mandible claw hand.
So good. They just, like I said, and it's because
The backdrop. Michaels takes a backdrop to the outside.
Back body drop.
Just insane.
or even the spot where he gets thrown out of the ring, he just lands like his
The one time I thought, did he just hit the coffin there? Like, I
Yeah.
think he's gonna hit that other one and really fuck up his back.
Yeah,
Later.
they-
he bumped like a psycho. Like how you were saying, like, yo, you have to slow down because you're not
Yeah.
gonna have a long career. That's Sean, because Sean put his body out there on some of his bumps that ruined him. You know what I mean?
Well, especially that one with the casket against
Yeah.
Undertaker in '98.
So then we get to this spot where it looks like it's getting close to the finish, and then Vader runs out.
A little too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to break up the pin.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do a thing where Paul Bearer distracts the referee. Mankind's got a chair, but super kick to the face with the chair.
Almost like a Van Daminator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he did that run up one too. Like he did it twice.
Yeah.
Mick fell the outside.
And so that it's a 2 count, but Vader's running in late, so Michaels gets off of Mankind instead of just getting the pin, and just goes after Vader. And Sid comes out to make the save. Sid and Vader fight to the back. And
Place goes fucking
Yeah.
crazy for
A lot
Sid.
of times Sid really was huge, like fan following. Like they just love Sid.
Love Sid,
When you think
yeah.
about it, look at him. He's awesome looking. He's not the best wrestler, but he looks awesome.
The shriek that Sean would get every time he would do something in the ring, like that just female shriek when his music hit, like
Yeah.
the pop he would get, and like when he would hit a big move, like that crowd it's Philly, but that crowd's so hot.
Yeah, well, New York would boo Sean 2 months later.
Yeah.
So Sid and Vader fight to the back. Mankind gets Paul Bearer hits Sean with the urn.
Yep.
And then Mankind gets the mandible claw, and then Sean goes out, and they're going to roll him into the casket. They open the casket. The Undertaker's in there. How
So
did
cool.
that happen?
Yeah.
So cool.
He had a lot of magic points, so he could do the teleport spell.
Or he sat in the ring for a very long time. I would
and-
love to know at what point they sneak him in there.
Probably the cue was after they opened the casket and then shut it.
So what I'm thinking is,
I'm wondering.
I think he came out at the beginning of the match because the casket was on a platform.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
and
he
he came out with the casket.
Yeah.
he's probably under the casket.
Yeah.
Either that or
They radioed him.
they dim the lights and he just rolls under the ring because he was in the match before this.
Yeah.
And just stayed out.
Yeah, I could have did that.
But yeah, obviously there's some kind of a platform where you can raise and lower that.
I love when they would do that stuff.
Yeah, Bruce on his podcast, like, oh, we can't tell you. And it's like, come on, Bruce.
It's past.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
20 years you could tell what
If
happened.
there's a curtain around the bottom of the casket, there's something going on there.
This is where Taker would explode if he made a podcast where he just kind of like, this is how we did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If people would listen to
And then
that.
what he was doing during the match.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. When that casket, like, every smart fan knew like Taker's in that casket.
Oh yeah.
And then once
Well-
it did, you're like,
It was a callback to In Your House, Beware of Dog, where there was a casket match with Undertaker and Goldust for the Intercontinental title. Goldust was the IC champion at that point. And they did the same thing where the casket's empty the whole match, and Undertaker has the match won, and he opens the casket, and Mankind's in there, and he gives Undertaker the mandible claw, and they put him in the casket, and Goldust wins.
Yeah.
So it's a callback to that match.
so good. But so normally crazy finishes on things piss me off and I hate it, but it had a cool thing because like you had the Sid moment, the Vader moment, then the Taker moment, and then send the crowd home, I guess, kind of like happy with the.
Yeah, well, Sean celebrates and maybe shows his ass. He's like, I'm gonna show my ass. No, I'm not.
I think he was showing off like a tattoo. I think he got a tattoo.
And then he walked around and girls are kissing him after a sweaty match.
Yeah. Yeah. So just before we end this here, I do have on Wikipedia the 3 dark matches.
Yeah, with the In Your Houses, they would have matches afterward for the local crowd. Yeah.
So you know who they are?
I don't.
Some good matches.
I'm sure. Yeah, like a lot of your bigger stars that were not on the card will be in the dark matches.
8 minutes and 30 seconds. Jake Roberts defeats Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Okay.
He's in the doghouse.
Yeah.
6 minutes and 23 seconds. Farouk with Sonny defeats Mark Merrow at Sable.
So this is the point because he's on the superstar line earlier in this. Because the next night, I think they did Farouk and Mark Merrow for the Intercontinental title.
And that's who's
Merrow
wearing the
won.
helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing. They said he looked like a big condom.
Yeah.
He's wearing a big blue eggshell helmet.
And then to end the night, which good move, 9 minutes and 10 seconds, you're going to get Psycho Sid defeats Vader with Jim Cornette.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.
That's 3 good dark matches.
They had a match on Buried Alive. It was like a #1 contenders match, and Sid beat Vader again. Vader, I think, had like a shoulder injury or something.
Overall,
you know what I liked at the end of pay-per-view when they would show the highlights. They should bring that back.
Yeah.
I think NXT did at the end.
I believe
not
so,
the end
yeah.
the end of proper takeovers. They would show highlights and then it would go off.
That's another news thing. The NXT Takeover name is also back.
Wow.
Yeah, Takeover's
good.
back. Yeah.
The next one's going to be NXT Takeover Halloween Havoc.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But overall, fun show. I loved watching it. I had a blast
I like
checking it out.
watching the older shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see how people when they were younger and how they can move and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember to
The crowd is
you look back and everybody remembers Michaels. Mankind was so good.
He was awesome.
Mankind
So
was
good.
So good.
That was a match where it took 2 to tango. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was so good.
And Michaels was at that point where he could literally have a great match, like the figurative. He could have a 5-star match with a broomstick.
Yeah.
But Mankind is so good there too.
Yeah, they sold it. All right. We're on an hour and 9 minutes, so we're gonna get in. We'll do it here on this show, but let's talk some local wrestling, boys. Here it is. Live pro wrestling. Respect tradition, foster innovation, create evolution, an education and rebellion. Outbreak Wrestling this Saturday, September 17th at the historic Hamburg Fieldhouse
in Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
Front row is sold out.
Yes, I seen that earlier. It was sold out, but other rows are still available and general admission is still available.
It's a big building. They
Yeah.
can
So
pack
even
that
if
place
you're
out.
10 rows back, you still have good.
Yeah.
good sight, I
And
think.
like I said, if you're a professional wrestling fan and you just want to go to a place to experience history, the legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse is where it's at.
And it is much cooler now,
Yes.
so it will not be as hot as it was last show in the middle of summer.
Also in attendance, we talked about earlier, Kevin Kelly is coming to the Hamburg and he wants to meet you. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, come meet Kevin Kelly. Very nice guy.
High of 79 degrees on Saturday, low of 57. That's a lot better than
I can't wait for hoodie weather.
95.
hoodie weather's tonight's gone down to 45
Yeah,
degrees. That's
love
hoodie
that.
weather.
Kind of. How do you feel about Kevin Kelly possibly listening to us on commentary?
Nervous?
Yeah.
No, but no, he did it before. He was there.
When we had no headphones.
He is the
Yeah.
voice of New Japan. So.
Yeah, he's
the
so good.
first night,
in America.
the first night I did commentary for Outbreak, he was there.
No particular order. We don't know how the card is going to go.
I think we know what's going to go on last.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake has his Hamburg tickets,
Oh,
baby.
right, cool.
Love it. So
Beefcake Barber.
Beefcake Barber. So if you don't know Gavin, that's Gavin and his dad. Probably I'm getting chills thinking about it again. I like I said, we've been doing this probably a year and a half, 2 years. We're getting close to 2 years now of being welcomed into the business. You know what I mean? We were just talking in the kitchen doing podcast stuff, and now we're helping with meet and greets, and we're part of the biz.
So fuck that kitchen.
Yeah, fuck this kitchen. No, but Gavin has just been a really cool part of this experience where he just comes and has blasts
Why
at
do I have
shows.
to curse when we're talking about
I know, right? You ruined it. No, but I joined in with you. But there was a moment. Gavin and his dad come and they support every single wrestler.
Mhm.
They do art for everybody.
very, very cool.
There's just awesome people, and just behind the scenes too. Like when I was going through my little spat of depression and I was going through some stuff, he reached out personally. He's like, "Hey, you good, man?" Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice
he's a
of him.
good dude,
Yeah.
man. I love that family. I love him to death. But Gavin came to the last show as Brutus the Barber Beefcake with Tessa, and I said, Gavin, because he loves Flair, and I said, she's connected to the Four Horsemen, and he's like, I know, Tully, like, because the kid does his research.
Yeah.
Like he's not just coming there. Like if he picks a character, he does his
I
research
believe
on the
he's
character.
7?
Yeah,
He's 7 years old?
I think so.
It's not. That tells me.
So he comes to the show, and Tessa, just unprompted, FaceTimes Tully Blanchard and just turns the phone around to Gavin.
Yeah.
And I said, Gavin, cut the Flair promo. And Gavin to Tully Blanchard, zero fear,
Yeah.
just does it. Like this kid,
Yeah, that's awesome.
the confidence in this kid
That kid is a prodigy.
is admiring, is so admiring. So he cuts the Ric Flair spilled booze. Alec, he can't keep
More
these
money on
gators down.
yeah.
To Tully, and Tully's laughing, dude. I almost started crying.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
walk away for a second.
Yeah,
'cause,
I know I'm the resident encyclopedia. That kid's gonna put me out the pasture someday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair at Mania 24.
But he is 7 years old, but he is a bright, like I look forward to seeing them at shows.
Mhm.
Like they're just good people and just good kid. He's a good kid, and we're happy to have him part of our of our
what a
business.
life he's had.
I know, just some of
7.
the experience. And dude, every time I see him, I'm like, not just with him, but just people in general. Like, how can I help somebody, even if it's a small gesture, have a different experience at a wrestling show that they wouldn't have had before?
Yeah.
And people appreciate that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, so love that kid to death. Love you too, buddy. Appreciate everything. Let's get to our first match. I don't know how they're laid out. We'll just pull them up as they go. Diamond City War Machines will be taking on 410 Massive.
Mm-hmm. Tag team action, no titles because I believe Robbie Radke and they're still
Robbie,
the Bad Street.
Yeah, the
Champion?
Bad Street tag.
Robbie is. I think this is the same night as the tag team Super 8, and I think he's
Yes, he's in
representing
that,
the Goons in that.
Yes, congratulations. And he once again, Robbie making the
I
top
believe it's him and Miles. But
I
could be
believe so. Yeah.
in the Super 8. Yeah. But yeah, this is gonna be a fantastic match. That's Colby, right?
No.
wrong. No,
That's looks like
410
Colby.
Massive is I think they're out of like
Delaware?
Baltimore area.
yeah, Baltimore.
I don't-
Delaware,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
they would be
sure.
302 Massive, but they were in Delaware.
Yeah, I don't know much about
They
them,
were
to be
in
honest.
Outbreak before. They
Yeah, they
were
were.
in I don't think they wrestled Diamond City.
Were they in some tag gauntlet or something?
They were really good too. They were like cool. They had cool green and white tights. I remember that. I think they may have wrestled Radke and Banks. Actually.
Okay.
That's going to be very fun.
Our next one. Dirtbag Dan versus Audrey Polino. I think he's going back to Polino, not Canella. I could be wrong, but I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Andre's
Sanctuary
been kicking it up a notch at the Sanctuary. He's been,
representation.
he's killing it.
Yeah.
And Dirtbag Dan is he's fun to commentate for.
yeah.
You could easily
really-
play into his character.
That should be good. Good cruiserweight match, I guess you could say.
It'll be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got here next?
Andre though, he's throwing some great kicks too.
Got to see this deranged person at
the Monster
Factory. So Michelle with Dr. Carl Martin takes on the quarantine champion Devante.
Yeah, they're moving up to the main show, even though he has the quarantine title.
I believe the quarantine title is on the line here. Yeah, quarantine championship match.
Oh.
I love me some Devante.
Yeah,
When they put the title on him, I was genuinely happy. Like I was like, that's a good pick.
yeah, it
Yeah.
should be
Because I didn't know he was getting it.
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh wow,
Awesome dude. Questionable choice in football teams, but
Greatest
awesome
teams. Great football team. Anyway, Philly Mike Swanson.
dude. Very
versus
good choice in football team.
Alec.
Mike Swanson.
Alex Riemann.
Ryman. I am not familiar with that.
I'm not either. But if Philly Mike's in, I'm sold. I feel like it's gonna be a great match.
yeah, looking
Hope,
forward to it. We'll see what
hope Philly's knees holding up. He said
Yeah.
he's feeling better.
that's good. Tape it up. Tape it up like Sabu.
Laszlo versus Steven Stetson.
This is an interesting one because Kevin Mears was the long reigning Intimidator champion. These are the last two guys he beat, but unfortunately, his last match he beat Laszlo Arpad and he tore up his knee and has decided to hang up the boots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't say this match is for the Intimidator title, but you got to think the winner is in position to maybe take that title.
Outbreak's all about surprising
Yeah.
their fans, so you never know how it can play out.
Yeah, two of the
And
taller guys too.
Steven Stetson, the Urban Cowboy. Stetson Hats. He is the New Jersey Cowboy.
Did not know this. We learned this at the last
Yeah.
show. The cowboy hat was invented in Jersey.
Of all places, you think it'd be
I think they were
Texas,
from.
you know?
I think they were from New Jersey. I think Stetsons were made in Philadelphia for a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cowboy hats,
yeah.
northern thing. Did not know that.
But yeah, he is a descendant of the Stetsons,
Super cool. Let me move this down here.
born with a silver horseshoe in his mouth.
oh, that
Or somewhere else.
funny didn't choke. Oh my god.
Westfield Kelly
The
versus
problem,
Davey
Westfield Kelly.
Bly.
Yeah,
Davey Bly, always very impressive. Had his first match at the Hamburg Fieldhouse.
yeah. Monster Factory trainee currently, I
Yep.
believe.
And Westfield Kelly, another guy who has been really, really, really tearing it up in the quarantine series. He was a team with Devantes and they kind of broke up, had a showdown at the anniversary show. They both kind of left Captain Decapitate in the lurch, but Westfield Kelly was very impressive. Westfield Kelly and Devantes on that quarantine show may have been my favorite match of that weekend.
Oh wow.
So that's going to be a good one. Davey Bly is always very impressive too.
Gonna be a little biased here for this next one.
Mhm.
I love me some JS
There we
Hawthorne.
go. Versus Jay Flyer.
Mr. 450 J. Fly.
Yeah, I wrestled Jay Flyer at a show one time. Yeah, it was like a 6-man tag though, or something. He reminds me of a white Too Cold Scorpio. I told him that.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Saw
A white
wrestle at
Too
Backbreakers
Cold
before,
Scorpio.
yeah.
Like his build and his moves. I'm like, wow.
We're gonna go to the game room.
Yeah.
What's he called? What's the
We got to go to the game room.
the game room?
We
Yeah.
have to shoot a thing where Jay Flyer pulls up in a limo to take kids to
Yeah.
school.
Dude,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? We got to step.
Yeah. Are we gonna ride in your limo there? No,
Ow.
we're gonna walk.
Yeah.
And then just get some like
Scorpio.
it's James Scorpio.
This would be great.
I love it.
Yeah, and Hawthorne very good. So I'm
Yeah.
glad to see he's on the main show now.
Yeah.
graduate to the main.
If
show.
you want somebody
So
unique,
it should be a good match.
unique and talented on your show locally, book JS.
Yeah,
I'm telling you this right now.
Book
JS Hawthorne is putting in the miles. He's traveling out of his bubble and going more places. He's getting looks at GCW at some GCW events. There are smaller
He
events
was
in the
at the
backyard.
the backyard show.
His character work is one of the best in our area. He's so good. He's so creative. He's worked so hard at his craft, and now we're at the point where he's training the next, like JS Hawthorne, Jordan Palco, Andre Polito, and like that whole stable. I'm missing one, ain't I?
Marcy, but they turned on.
No, there was one other. Well, I think that's pretty. There was another trainee, but I think he stepped away from wrestling for Corey O'Ryan. But these three that I just said, not only have hit a point in their wrestling where they're just putting on bangers, but to watch them train the next generation at Sanctuary is awesome to watch. And nothing but love for JS Hawthorne. Please, if you're looking for a talent, reach out and book him.
One thing you said, like and you're absolutely right with the character, the unique character, and the great character work. But I always feel like when you say that about somebody, it's kind of code for they can't work.
No, he works.
JS Hawthorne can bring it in the ring.
He's fucking
and
awesome.
his recent Jake the Snake stuff was great. He did that at the Colossal Con, which was awesome. And then he was also Mr. Saint.
Were the Colossal Kongs or Colossal?
They were not. I wish they were.
Well, on this next one, Andy Header, strap up those boots, tuck them in tight, throw those knee pads
Street
on,
fight, baby.
Tape up your fists.
You are in a Hamburg street fight versus a very dangerous and scary man.
Anything goes in a street fight, baby.
Right.
No rules.
I guess Mac Mayhem's coming alone because his manager did not get a graphic.
Corey on. They forgot. No managers in the street fight, bro.
Yeah. Corey not getting represented on this graphic.
I don't know what to
I'm
tell
sure
you.
he's gonna feel really.
Maybe they'll put him in a
upset about
shark cage.
Yeah. Suspended 15 feet
that.
high.
Has Andy ever been through a table yet? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
I've seen at least once, definitely.
Yeah, and I've DVD'd someone off a ladder through a table one time.
And you corner spotted somebody through a table.
Yeah.
I watched you take a frog splash through a table
I don't
by
remember.
Robbie Radke. That's how you lost your title. It was a tables match.
Oh, and I remember. Yes, I remember. Yes, that was in Reading. Yes. So yeah, I've done table spots before.
Yes.
And chairs.
Yeah, and then ladders.
Just make sure. Be careful what tables you pick at the Hamburg Field House.
Yeah.
Because some of those
You gotta get those working tables.
some of those are pretty strong tables.
Anything could be. You can find a coconut laying around the locker room 30 years ago.
That table that they
could
brought
be
out,
used.
Andre the Giant could have stepped on and it wouldn't have broke.
You can
Big Show
find
and
some.
Braun could have stood on that.
You can find some of Zahorian's candies and use them as a weapon.
But yeah, so here we are, the Andy Header versus Mac Mayhem in a street fight. Anything you want to say about this? Nothing.
I don't know what to expect. It's a street fight, baby. Anything goes.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Anyone could run in.
You're representing the school here.
He might be wrestling in the street. Hamburg's still School County, right?
Yeah.
Is that Berks?
No,
it is Berks.
It's Berks.
Yeah.
But you're representing school.
That's right.
We fight hard here.
Yeah, and I don't know Mac who he's wrestling representing.
Mac is just dude. He's a tough guy.
Yeah,
it's a very tough guy.
Street fight, baby.
Yeah.
Who knows what's under that ring?
Who knows?
That's what I gotta say.
Oh, I might have something for you if you want.
Under the ring, and who knows what you pull.
I might have something for you. Actually, I definitely have something for you. I have a secret weapon for you for the match. All right,
cool.
Let's
Street fight.
That's right.
It should be something else.
Mac Mayhem's not the only one's got help. Eat it, Corey Cross. We got something for him.
Yeah. And then our main event, where Tommy Vex will get another opportunity to go against Ian Bush for the championship. Tommy Vex screwed out of his championship victory.
Was he?
He 1, 2, 3.
Ryan Vox right or wrong? You've been hanging out with Jeff Christian too much.
Ryan Vox is biased, and he comes wrong. How many screwy finishes were on that entire show?
That's why I said enough is enough. I'm not.
And Ryan Vox sat on his hands.
He said, "I've had all I can stand. I can stand no more."
Yeah, no more.
And he runs out there and rights the wrong for this one. I mean, you got hit with a belt. Why didn't Ryan Vox come out?
Yeah,
you should be.
I did not get hit.
Right.
My opponent got hit, and I lost by DQ.
Yeah, I didn't see him running out.
No one
restart the match, get these guys out of here
for that Earth title.
But Ian Bush gets a run out. Ryan Vox in his suit getting some screen time. Anyway, and a mystery
versus
maybe
Vacant.
that's where Corey Cross is going to be.
Maybe that's Corey Cross on the poster right there.
So it is triple threat for the title, and I would assume you don't have to pin the champion to win the title.
I recognize that guy.
Oh my God, Tommy Vex with the tiny hands. We don't talk about his hands. They're huge. He has huge.
Oh, maybe he.
Maybe think of AJ Evers.
Yeah, with the tiny hand. Yeah.
Oh yeah. AJ and Vox did a character swap one time.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, where Tommy Vex wrestled AJ Evers.
Yeah, and
AJ
then
Evers
they
wrestled as
switch
Tommy
gear,
Vex. Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be the mystery. Maybe it'll be AJ Evers as Tommy Vex.
Oh my God! Please give me that.
What if it's I've seen that guy before. That is the greatest, most accomplished wrestler that has ever
Decorated.
lived. The 45-time and current AEW champion. That is vacant.
That is
Also, the current. Oh wait, no. I was thinking there's an intersect belt, ain't there? No,
The
there's.
trios titles are now.
yeah. They're claimed.
That is the 45-time heavyweight champion of the world vacant.
We have
Recently,
speculations of who it's going to be.
I don't know. Ed House. That's my pick. Ed House, baby, bring him back.
Maybe.
I would love for Ed House to come back.
Oh, that Fieldhouse would go nuts if it was that house.
Maybe Duke Drosy. He was at
That could be
right
it.
before Duke Drosy
That
gets
would be
in there.
delirious. He's doing a seminar.
That's right.
Delirious would be fun.
Puts that mask on.
I mean, there's somebody on there that's just clearly not
could
this
be a- it
card
could be a
that
lizard.
deserves to be.
It could
You
be a
know,
lizard.
I'm not
Could be a
saying because I
lizard.
think what I'm going to be picking is very, very close to probably who it will be.
Oh, okay.
So
Who
I'm not
knows?
saying
CM Punk. You
Yeah,
gotta have
CM
him
Punk.
it is Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Is it Kenny Omega? Is it that Royal Rumble 2019?
The only thing I will say, I'm going to shoot a little bit on Outbreak. Joke shoot, not really shoot. Did you see this Team Outbreak versus Team?
I know. Why ain't I on that?
Here's my thing. When I think Team Outbreak, I think Ricardo Rodriguez and Fuego
Fuego del Sol.
Not for nothing, but Fuego del Sol couldn't make Team AEW.
I'm just saying you have all these, like you and Robbie Radke,
Yeah.
probably the two most successful Outbreak wrestlers of all time, and you're not on Team Outbreak.
Yeah, I know.
What is up with that?
I don't. What is up? with that?
That's like when you have like, hey, we're gonna do
Hey, I'm
a pickup basketball game,
yeah.
and I'm gonna drop a couple bucks and bring Jordan in and
Yeah.
just act like he's
It's
been
like
on
that
our team
episode
for
of The
6 months.
Simpsons where they're doing the nuclear power plant softball game. They get Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby Puckett.
Cut those sideburns. I'm free October 15th, by the way. Just wanna put
Yeah,
that out there.
so
at
maybe-
the Zembo Shrine,
maybe
maybe this Night of Legends.
watch out, Del Sol.
Yeah.
We're gonna Nancy
Yeah.
Kerrigan you.
You won't be in Sammy's blogs no more.
There it is. Mick Thompson's gonna be the mystery opponent. You
Oh,
nailed
baby.
it.
Mick Thompson from Slipknot.
Yeah. The vacant will walk away with yet another championship. It's very possible.
45-time champion.
He's
If-
going to bring in the AEW title too. and then
If
have
you
the
guys want to
Bulldogs.
check out the previous work, Outbreak Wrestling is linked below.
Mhm.
Not linked below here, but if you're on our YouTube page, if you scroll down to the very bottom, I try to make it a point to where it says follow our friends. Even on my new page, I have it. And I have every promotion that I work for that has a YouTube page. Please do me a favor. Just go subscribe to the follow our friends pages. I know Pete's on there. Billy, who does our intro music,
Mhm.
is on there. Show some love to those pages. And just say we sent you. So tell them Anthony, tell them ABJ
There
sent
you
you.
go.
You know, everyone loves ABJ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better. Get some header, Andy
Yeah,
header.
that's right.
Anyway, that's gonna do it. Do we have any anything we want to tackle? We're about an hour and 23. Anything we want to put out there when it comes to local wrestling news, our news in general?
So
Go ahead.
the Colossal Con, the show there, that Frontier
Yeah,
Pro Wrestling
yeah, that
had,
looks
it was very fun.
We've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah,
about this
everyone
show.
that was there had a good time, and the anime kids, you thought they ain't gonna watch this, and the room was packed,
I heard
sold out, hanging from the rafters. as
I
they
heard
say.
that they had to every single time somebody got up, left, there was
They were
somebody to take.
replaced,
They had a
yes.
line of people waiting to get in
Yeah.
to see the show.
So it was something else, and they loved anything that was like, because it's not a wrestling crowd. So like one move and like, whoa!
Love it.
I did an arm drag. It was like, whoa! What just happened? And then when I jumped off the top rope, it was like Will Ospreay came and did the craziest flip in the world.
Maybe they're onto something. Frontier.
I think so. It might be back next year.
Yeah, maybe wrestling at conventions is
Yeah.
the way to go.
And,
we saw that at Brewfest. The crowd was good. Like not
Yeah.
necessarily wrestling
Dude,
fans. were-
I didn't drink any beer because I was it was so fun to watch people in the crowd who normally are not wrestling fans
and
eat it up.
Yeah.
now they're doing wrestling at a Bruce Giving, but I think it's going to be the same day as a PPW show.
Oh geez,
Yeah.
yeah. And he's very simple 1980s stuff. Anything video game related, anime related, they loved. Hawthorne Gohan came out as Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z, and they acted like The Rock came out.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest thing.
Well, this Saturday is going to be the inaugural get together for Pilgaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Before we go to Outbreak, we're going to stop at Pilgaroo. It's the Pilgaroo Pro Wrestling Club.
Oh, cool.
so the
Saturday,
brewery's
2
starting a
o'clock.
wrestling club. So if you're living in the area, Pottsville, Pennsylvania, follow Pilgaroo, follow Pilgaroo, and they have a dedicated Facebook page. If you need the information, please send me a message. But we're going to start a wrestling club at the brewery.
That's awesome.
Where we're going to maybe put something on TV and watch it, drink a couple beers.
Yeah.
If you don't drink, you don't have to.
And a lot of times they have the pay-per-views playing.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't do that.
No, I thought
No, they don't.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Hey, babe.
Maybe we talked about it, but you know,
Yeah.
because it's illegal, we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, even though the network.
But if you come and hang out at the brewery the
Yeah.
night of a pay-per-view, there's a lot of wrestling fans, and we bond and hang out. And you
There
have
you
a
go.
good time. But yes, the club, you can come and join the club. Even if you're not a drinker, just come in. We're gonna sit there and hang out with local wrestling fans and just talk wrestling. Essentially this podcast, but no microphones, no cameras, and just enjoy each other's company and talk pro wrestling. So that's at 2:00.
Fellowship.
Yeah, a little fellowship of professional wrestling. But also I heard at this con that it went on to like 2:00 in the morning.
Well, so the wrestling was only 2 hours.
The con itself.
Yeah, the con, the main floor I think closes at 7 or 8, but there's panels that go on till like night, and then
I heard it was teaching people how to draw boobs.
Yeah, the panels went on to like midnight or something like that,
Yeah,
and then
some
there's
18 plus
a band playing. Yeah, there's 18 plus hentai stuff. If you don't know what hentai is, just Google that up.
There's they
anime
taught you how to
titty.
They
draw.
have the wrestler Super Hentai.
Yeah,
What was the panel name? How to draw hentai boobs.
it was Anime Titty 101.
Anime Titty 101.
They had a bunch of stuff like that every night. So apparently the con did really well. It was their first year
Bro,
at the Kalahari Resort in Poconos, and they're coming back next year, early September, but they're on a set date.
I would love to try to sit in on Anime Titty 101
Next year, I'm just gonna sit there and be like,
and not be like Beavis and Butthead during sex education class. You know what I mean? Like,
and here's how you draw the big areola.
I can't even draw, so it's
well, this is a one-win.
I'm sure.
No, I
What if you can't draw to save your life,
Until you see
I'm
anime
the
titty.
anime titty savant.
but you are like
Yeah.
the greatest anime titty drawer of
Yeah.
all time?
Well, it's funny because we were talking about this in the car. We were taking a carload to Sanctuary, and you were saying how is this really going to be the last thing we talk about on this podcast?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking about like how you know kink shame, but once you're really getting off to a cartoon, I think you've crossed a line.
You crossed the threshold. Like if you can do the
Climax to
a cartoon.
yeah,
There's
pretty
there's no coming back. Like,
and that's all well.
you
and good.
found the loophole.
yeah.
But think about this: if that's your thing, if that's your kink, and you get good at drawing it, you've become the master of
Yeah,
your world.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can make anything you want.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to see
Your
is now
limits
at your
are your
disposal.
imagination.
Could you imagine just someone that's what they're into, and
Yeah.
and then they become a great artist? Could you imagine like their grandkids finding their collection?
That'd be awesome. Hey,
Well, first,
that's what he
it'll
did.
be all stuck together, so it's not.
Yeah.
gonna
Oh
matter.
my Jesus!
That's what he did. He made fuck porno
Yeah.
or fuck manga.
Fuck
It's-
porno is
Yeah,
supposed to be all the other porno.
we love all the anime kids.
Yeah,
I mean-
anime titty 101. Listen, this is not
Next
this is
year's
not
gonna be
picking
great.
on anybody. This is
And there's
just,
gonna
yeah.
be more people in costumes. I'm gonna have one. So
I hope I'm not booked that day. I want to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up the whole day. I'm
We
going
gotta
up.
convince him to not book it on the second Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going up as the character, and then I'll be dressed as the character, and then I'll wrestle the character, and then afterwards I'll stay. Well, I'm not staying at 2 a.m, but
You know what you gotta do, right?
What?
You gotta try to get a match in where you work intergender but dress as a female.
Yeah.
It's-
already in the works.
yeah. You gotta bring your She-Hulk back.
Yeah, no, you got anime people don't like comics. Okay, but you gotta cater a little more to them. Video games is more their thing, but anime characters is more their.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, would they enjoy a Spider-Man wrestling Superman match? Yeah, but
What
not
gear
as,
did you guys wear?
Captain Marvel because it's very colorful.
Okay.
Yeah, but would they enjoy Goku versus fucking Bowser? That's the main event for them.
Love
you
that.
know?
Frontier, if you want commentary for that next show, please
Yeah.
tell me.
It should be a lot of fun, and early September next year. And Frontier Pro Wrestling has a show October 1st at the roller rink in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, but I won't be there. I'm on our show. Check
another
that
thing
out.
as well, and I want to put this as a PSA and let people know this is a thing. If you have shows where maybe the only thing you guys can afford is just setting up your own hard cam and filming it,
Mhm.
if you send us the footage, we can work out a rate. I don't charge insanely priced things. For me, it's just another rep to get things in. We have the capability of doing commentary. We have microphones. We can put commentary on
after
top
is
of
what
your
you're saying,
thing.
yeah.
So if you need post-production commentary, if you need voiceover work, if you need anything of that nature, or if you need to book a show, I can bring a commentary setup and do commentary.
Yeah.
Um,
You can message. I'll show you who to message.
yeah, so let us know if there's anyone out there who needs that or wants it. I mean, it'd be cool. Like, imagine if a promotion in UK is like, hey, we have this show, but we don't have commentary, and they send it to us. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be
send the
dope to
file,
see.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
give us some information on the guys and their name.
And we don't technically have to even be at your show, but
Yeah.
we can do commentary and make it high quality, and we'll have a good time with it.
Medium quality.
Medium quality, yeah.
at a medium. Pace.
There's gonna be at least one like dick and fart joke
Yeah.
for me. Like, I'm just letting you know. We're gonna fit one in. But that's what we can do for you guys if that's something you're interested in. Once again, 4 years. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Anyone who's ever bought a shirt, anyone who ever had a sticker or put a sticker on something and supported us. It is not easy to walk away from this network after 4 years. It bummed me out for a very, very long time. But the next step to our process is really exciting. And it's a lot easier for me to manage and maintain not just my time, but everybody else at the table, and go to this next step. I'm pumped and I'm ready. If you want to support that next journey, I'm still raising funds to get some of the camera I need, because the next thing I want to do when it comes to the next podcast and filming content is easier on my body, because I don't have to carry as much equipment in, and I can do up to 4 cameras and literally fit everything into a backpack, which is exciting as fuck.
Very, very easily condensable.
Yes, and not only can we do everything in one backpack, but like, for example, on the Truth Behind Illusion, if me and Andy decide, hey, we're gonna go to the Gordon Mountain, I can hand Andy a camera, Kelly a camera, myself a camera, and
then
then
you
we
can
can
edit all
all
together, yeah.
document all of our experiences and have microphones and still kind of give you guys content, but it'll all be on that new page. And you know what I mean? Wrestling stuff. I'm still doing wrestling interviews. So if I go to a show and you're at a show and you want to sit down and talk, let's do it. All that stuff will be there, except it'll be all under the Anthony Blackwell Jr.
All
YouTube
one
page.
easy to access place.
Yep. And if,
One-stop shopping.
all social media will just be my name. Just go to my name, Anthony Blackwell. And then if you want to support the new podcast, the ABJ podcast, I will start filming that stuff hopefully in 2 weeks. I do have 1 or 2 people who said they will help me out and film some locations.
Oh, cool.
One location is just ridiculous and hilarious, and I can't wait to do it. And the other one is going to be like an outdoorsy one.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the biggest thing with that one. If you have an awesome idea for a location to record, you could do that. We're still going to be doing live streams where if we have other podcasters come on and learn about you, or wrestlers who, we can do remote, any type of wrestling content creators. If you have a story you want to tell, all that's still on the table. Just hit us up and we'll start that next journey. Anything at the end here, Andy, you want to plug?
Well, we plugged the hell out of Outbreak. So in a sanctuary. And you can find me on my social media if you want to see where I'm wrestling next. And that's it. I have some shirts, but I'm just gonna start giving them away because I want to get other shirts with a bigger design. So I know what comic I'm gonna spoof.
Yeah.
But no, that's it. Support indie wrestling,
Please do. Please support independent. The more you support independent wrestling and support people like us, our stock. That's another thing I wanted to bring up too.
And you never know when that guy is gonna get big or girl. You never know. Somebody was watching Seth Rollins at one point.
Like
this guy's never gonna make it.
If you were on this scene before I was, because I was late to the party, this guy, but Ace Austin was wrestling little shows.
Yeah, I was on many shows with him. So you never know who will make it.
I mean, just from our standpoint, we went from sitting in this kitchen talking to, in the blink of an eye, getting invited to do commentary, getting in, like, both of us, everyone at this table got bookings because of this podcast. We got opportunities that would have never ever happened, and a huge chunk of that is the support you guys gave us. We brought a value because you guys, our numbers spoke for themselves at one point in time, and that coincide with you guys and the support. So seriously, so much thank you. Brian,
plug Murder My Dude at the top. That's what I got.
Yeah, buy Pepsi.
At Murder My Dude. At Murder My Dude on Twitter. It's Podcast My Dude on Facebook, because I guess I didn't let you say murder.
Oh, that's weird.
But if you look up Murder My Dude, you'll find it. We have episode, I think, 142, 141, something like that, coming out in, what did I say? Like about
midnight.
3 hours? Midnight. Yeah, every other Friday at midnight. It comes out when I get paid.
I love that.
So that's fun. So yeah, check that out. It's true crime, it's comedy, it's a little bit of everything. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah. And even if you're late to the game with the podcast, you can go back and listen to previous episodes.
Oh yeah, they're evergreen. We
yeah.
we do have we have a thing called This Week in Murder. We talk about like current stories, but
Mhm.
some of those stories became bigger stories.
Yeah.
You know, and we kind of real time kind of went through that whole George Floyd thing. We went through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it is like that, but we always try to keep some comedy in there, and the main stories themselves are evergreen. Who died the worst is always a fun time.
Yeah. I found out someone died in my house next to me. The house next to me.
Like recently?
No,
Oh.
a couple years ago. Someone
Oh, wow.
was stabbed and they died.
Wow.
How about that? I gotta find some more information about it.
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
But also, if you do go back and listen to any of the podcasts, Truth Behind Illusion, Interviews with Everyday People, Tornado Tag, and you listen to the audio side of things, we still get money for those plays. So even we're not going to delete them. We're not going to take them down. The YouTube channels will still be here that you can go and subscribe and support. Dude, if something happens in the next couple of years where somehow this catches on and people love it and it blows up and we hit couple thousand subscribers, like never say never. We'll Undertaker this to the
pro wrestling retirements are forever. And
yeah.
No one ever comes back.
And the only feedback I will have when it comes to any form of content, or if you support something, it may seem stupid, it may seem like it's trivial, but reaching out to someone who creates something and leaving a review or a comment or just saying, hey, I loved it, helps a lot. When you do something for a long time and you're essentially speaking into the void, it can mess with your head. So that's the only thing I got is if you support people, support them out loud. You know what I mean? Help them, because trust me, it is very taxing mentally when you're doing something and there's nothing in form of feedback or engagement. So do that for people, and maybe that change that mindset going forward. And if you do listen to a Murder My Dude, or follow Andy on Twitter, or support Kelly and her photography page, and Austin for his training and going forward at the sanctuary, we'll be at all those places. Come hang out with us, show us that love. We love you guys to death. Tornado Tag Podcast, the final episode. One last time, Billy Trey, take us out of here.